Servants of Freedom, the most insane Warbond for 3 reasons roughly. Double-edged sickle can kill hulks from the front. And you also get infinite ammo, with the only downside being it will cook you alive. Ultimatum can one-shot bile titans, destroy fabricators, but more importantly can destroy detector towers, and also jamming towers as a sidearm weapon. It did get a slight nerf, which I'll talk about more in a second. Then we've got the tactical nuke, or I guess portable Hellbomb backpack. That's just a backpack Hellbomb. That is absurdly fun to use. This Warbond has brought me so much joy in such a short time because of how fun it is to use the items. Funny enough, the last 3 major items in this Warbond I learned about from my trip to Sweden. The raised weapon emote can be fired when you raise the gun, and I heard about that. I got home, I shot out the ultimatum, shoot that, and it breaks structures if you do it somewhat facing the structure and you're kind of close, which is kind of neat. Makes it more dynamic, and that's a bit more engaging to me. The GPT secret grenade, I didn't really learn about this one in particular. I just know that it seeks things out, and if you know me, you know my stance on auto-aim things in this game. They don't tend to do the greatest job. And the armor, I actually died, I'm pretty sure, to someone wearing it whenever we were playtesting. I think twice, actually. And then I got home and I was playing the Warbond. I died to it another 5 times. The passive fits the theme of the Warbond really well, though. You have the tactical bomb, backpack nuke, the ultimatum that's a close range, massive explosion. So in both those cases, you can likely die to your own devices. The armor is martyrdom, where if you do die, you're another explosive. Let's start a more in-depth review. Double-edged sickle is pretty good. You get infinite ammunition, as well as the potential for heavy armor penetration as long as you build heat. The only caveat being, the more heat you have, the more damage you take. If you're at lower heats, you won't notice it too much, and if you are wearing fire-resistant armor, or at the bare minimum, the status-resistant armor, such as the one from the Killzone 2 collab, you won't notice the buildup until you're at the 80% to 100% heat generation mark. Once you get there, you'll start giving yourself a fire dot. And this thing hurts, even with the fire-resistant armor that gives you 75% immunity to fire, or resistance to fire. So you're going to want to bring a supply backpack with a bunch of stems to keep yourself alive. In a perfect world, get yourself a teammate to pocket you with a stem pistol and their own supply backpack. And that way, on the automatons, you'll be killing hulks through the visor with a primary weapon, destroying objectives on the automatons, and shredding through all kinds of chaff enemies. DES was good against the Illuminate, and I kind of liked it against the bugs too, although bugs tend to have a lot more durable HP, which makes it so even when the DES has max heat and you get heavy armor penetration, it's going to take you a little bit to go through a bile titan's face. You can kill it, it just takes a while. And the same thing goes for charger behemoths. On regular chargers, it's not too bad. This weapon had a glow up because before it had infinite medium armor penetration, and I think it maybe increased damage if you kept firing it, but it didn't have heavy armor penetration. So they changed it to start off with light penetration, move on to medium, and finish off with heavy armor. And that's I think a net buff. I think they also made it so it hurts a bit more when you're using it, but I could be wrong on that. Either way, the weapon is very creative and super fun to use. I hope you get more weapons that also encourage team play in the way that this one does, with having the potential for a pocket healer, if you will, with the stem pistol and whatnot. If we get more healing items, it could be even better. You have a healing mist you can put on the ground, maybe a healing backpack like they had, or I guess it was like a healing beam weapon like they had in Helldivers 1. Unless you enjoy hearing your character scream incessantly once you get to max heat on the double-edged sickle, go to Settings, Audio, and under Dialogue Volume, turn that to 0. Now if you're at max heat, you'll be on fire, still take damage, you just won't have to hear it from your character. Ultimatum, a precision strike in your pocket that I simply adore. You do 3,500 direct damage with 1,000 AoE blast radius damage, and it just feels so good to hit your targets and one-tap them. Bile Titan requires the forward shot in my experience. If you land that, you feel like Timothy. There's an easy way to increase how far you can shoot the ultimatum. Have your primary weapon equipped and then swap to ultimatum while holding the fire button, and that will launch it roughly 80 meters, up from 45, so giving you essentially double the distance. Do be aware, using this method will make your shot a little less accurate. In some cases, pretty less accurate. So if you're going for destroying structures, not a big deal, especially for the bigger ones, such as the drop ships on Illuminate, that you can one-shot with this weapon. But if you're trying to hit a Bile Titan's face, its nose, you might not want to do this. Ultimatum already got nerfed. Now thankfully the damage and range is unaffected, and instead the ammo got reduced in a unique way. Before, if you had the space ammo booster with the siege ready armor, you'd have spawned in with max ammo and an extra rocket. So a total of 3 rockets anytime you landed in a mission or got respawned, you'd have that out the gate. Now the ammo booster and the siege ready armor give you no benefit for the ultimatum. So you spawn in with 1 rocket and you respawn with 1 rocket. You get an extra rocket, loot ammo boxes, a resupply pack, or a resupply. So it's not the end of the world, but I will say it's not necessary. I could maybe see them making it so the siege ready armor doesn't give you a spare rocket, and that way you only have 2 with the space booster or the ammo booster. But we'll see what happens. I think the weapon requires more precision than folks are giving it credit for, and it's nowhere near as game-breaking as some players think. And to those same players, I feel that they freak out the moment a weapon is fun to use and impactful. Portable Hellbomb is exactly what it is. You can use it to destroy objectives that you need a Hellbomb for by simply walking into them, pressing the activation key, so for mouse and keyboard it's 5, dropping it and walking away. Or you can activate it and walk into a bug breach, a bot drop, an Illuminate airship invasion thing, and go out with a bang. It's just, I cannot believe they gave us so many fun tools that do so much. I've been using it with some friends to go in the FRV, drive around with the Hellbombs, and to do the sabotage orbital defense mission on the automatons. Because you need a Hellbomb to break those structures. It's neutralize orbital defense, same thing. You need a Hellbomb to break those structures. If you have a gunship tower, you can have the same thing. You have a Hellbomb ready to go versus having to sit there and finesse with it. It's essentially a Hellbomb emplacement is what it is, that you can also move. That's my review of the Servants of Freedom Warbond. I hope you get more along these lines. They don't have to be as powerful, but I'm looking for things that are useful, that make you think about how you can interact with them in the game itself, and provide some semblance of build diversity. A good example is the double-edged sickle. Because it encourages team play and it encourages playing the game in a way that you don't normally play it, I like that. So hopefully they can be as creative in the future or close to it, because this is definitely a high bar to reach. But it's kind of nuts that they've been doing a really good job with Warbonds recently. This Warbond, the previous one, they both feel good. I'd say great. Oh yeah, good stuff. Anywho, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Laters.